The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, welcome to this customer appreciation special webinar for DoodleMaker customers. This is Paul Pona from the DoodleMaker team. I'm super excited to explain to you a couple of really cool things. First of all, everybody who's attending this webinar, even you who are watching this in replay format, will be getting access to a brand new app that we've created for you for free. Again, just for checking out this video. All the details are right on your screen. You see that link right there on your screen? You just go in, bookmark that link, and you go into that page, newsoftwaredemo.com/bonus, and then you can bookmark it and you can check out the instructions. There's a coupon code. You have to make sure that you enter the coupon code in the registration page and you're good to go. And this is our way of saying thank you for being in business for 13 years, helping us out in growing DoodleMaker. Now, the other aspect of this is today I'm going to be also going a step further and showing you some new updates that we made for DoodleMaker. I'll go step by step what those are, what those new features are, and where they're located and how you can use them, basically the tutorials for those. And I'll also go a step further, and because this is the holiday season, we want to make sure that you have a pathway to succeed this holiday season. I'll also give you the step-by-step strategies on how to do it and what I do. For example, every holiday season for myself to make an extra $100,000 or more for my own business. Now, you're not going to make anywhere close to that. Maybe you might make the same, or you won't make it. Maybe you make even more than that. That doesn't matter. What I'm going to be showing you is if you do not have any connections, if you do not have any existing customers, you do not have a business, or you don't even know where to get traffic, what products to sell, whether you should be getting into affiliate marketing, consulting, agency, and you're totally confused with so much information overload, then you got to pay attention to what I have to share with you. Because over the next few weeks, it's going to be the holiday season, which is going to be the biggest in terms of sales online than ever before in history. Some are even saying it could be combined over the last 10 years, more sales will be made this holiday season than any other holiday season in the last 4 or 5 years combined, which is extraordinary. Well, how do you take advantage of it? Because you're in the pandemic, there's a lot of uncertainty out there, but there are certain segments that are growing. Well, I'll be showing you how you can do it for free, how you can actually leverage the exact strategy I'll be showing you, meaning you can utilize them and get great results. And I'll go a step further and I'll actually show you step by step how you can utilize the exact same strategies to get free traffic, get all the products you'll ever need to sell over this holiday season at wholesale prices, and more importantly, how you can later on sell this business as well that you built only in the next few weeks in the holiday season for tens of thousands of dollars potentially. And it's all gonna make sense to you once I show you step by step. So it's exciting stuff. So firstly, let me go in and show you some new features for DoodleMaker. Then I'll show you how to bring DoodleMaker in this holiday season and also some other automation tools and so on to bring it all together to make this the most successful and profitable holiday season that you've ever had in your life. So let's get underway. Basically, what we did recently is we added a whole bunch of tutorials and new features as well for DoodleMaker, okay? So where it is located, okay? So now you open up the DoodleMaker app, right? So here in the application, so let me actually go to the main home page here. So you go to the home page here and then you click on this training section. You see this big one, I highlighted it very big so you can see it, this section right here. So you click on that, okay? And then you go to this page, okay? And I want to talk about those features that we added as well. And then you scroll down, okay? It's gonna have 9 videos here, but then it's gonna have some other videos here. But I want you to scroll down specifically to this section. You see this? From number 10 onwards, okay? And then also, it's also there in the DoodleMaker tutorials page, also these tutorials, by the way, okay? So you can go into doodlemakerapp.com/tutorials, and you're gonna land on that page as well, where you can actually go and watch these tutorials as well. Up to you, it's up to you which one you decide to do. But anyway, so underneath this tutorial section, which is under doodlemakerapp.com/app/training, you just have to scroll down a little bit, and then you're gonna see this. How to duplicate projects in DoodleMaker, okay, which is now you can duplicate projects. If you didn't know already, you could do it. You can loop the background music in DoodleMaker now, okay, which you couldn't do before, by the way. Meaning, you know, if your video length is bigger and then the background music is smaller, you can loop it. You can also control the speed of the text-to-speech voices. This was done before. It's been improved, obviously, a lot more. So you can control the speed. And again, you can watch these videos. It'll walk through these elements and how to do it and so on. It's right there in your DoodleMaker account, by the way. Just to scroll down a little bit in the bottom of your tutorials page, okay? So Next one is how to use transitions without hands. This was a big feature. A lot of people asked us to put this feature in. You couldn't believe how many requests we got. So this one is basically, hey, look, I know I can create sketch videos and painting videos and also doodle style drawing videos and so on. But what if I want to have a transition which does not have a pen or a sketch or whatever element? Well, you can do that now, okay? Using this, you can watch this tutorial and you can learn how to do it. So this way you can add some new transitions to your videos as well and add more animations and so on. You can also now use a new search feature to find more templates, okay? So for example, before you didn't have that robust of a search, you can now search not only your projects, but also existing templates that are in there, because there's sometimes hundreds of templates. So obviously you want to make sure that a good search would help you find the template you need quickly. And also you can add transitions between slides as well. Now these are two types of transitions, okay? I talked about new transitions. This is basically where you can also add a sketch-based transition as well. So what happened before was you wanted to add transitions where you did not want the pen or whatever, the pencil or whatever, well, or the hand all together, you could do that. But now here you can add transitions that includes that as well. So that's an added element where instead of it abruptly moving from one slide to the other or one, one thing to the other, you're gonna have, or one drawing or one doodle from another, you're gonna have direct seamless transition. You can also use the auto detect font feature now. This is especially for you folks who are creating multilingual videos. So for instance, let's say you're creating a video in Japanese, right? There are certain fonts that have to work for Japanese to function, because see, unlike French, Spanish, and Italian and all that, they use the English characters, right? So it's easy. But imagine if it's Japanese or Arabic or some of these other languages like Mandarin and so on. The problem is that they need specialized fonts, right, to make it work properly. So what happens is, before, people had to go in and select the font that they needed. They needed to know what font would work for that language. Now it's automatic. So you paste any script. Let's say that is in Japanese or Mandarin, or that's in, for example, Arabic or whatever language it is. Then you just paste it in, and then automatically it's going to find the font related to that video, okay? And then it's gonna make that video seamless, so you don't have to worry about choosing the fonts and all that stuff, which was a little bit more complex. And you can also flip images in DoodleMaker. This is good because, see, sometimes you want to have some images to be drawn from left to right or something like that. This flipping of images gives that mirror effect, which is really cool. And then finally, my favorite one is you can now also upload and use your own SVG files, okay? This is a big one, okay? It's very exciting because, see, we have a media library, of course, where you can get a lot of vectors and drawings and assets and so on. We also have our own existing asset library and so on. But what if you want to bring in your own stuff? So there are a ton of pages, actually. You can go in right now. Like if you go to Google right now, right? I'll go to Google and you can type in something like free SVG, right? SVG files, right? And then you'll find a ton of SVG files. Like this one is love SVG, freesvgdesigns.com. You see this? And then any one of these, like you see this, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, any one of these can be imported into DoodleMaker, and then you can have that sketched or drawn and so on. Now in this one website alone, where there are like tons and tons of them, right? And these are all free. So for instance, if I wanted to pick this one, right? You're gonna have an option which says right below called download, right? You press this download option right here, you can import them into DoodleMaker now. Again, that tutorial will explain how to do it. So now you have more options for sketching, drawing, making more relevant videos with time. Again, there's another one called Love SVG. There are tons of them. I mean, there's so many options available when it comes to SVG files, right? You see this here is another one. So here, let's see here, the holiday season, right? Merry Christmas, y'all. All right. Magic for Christmas. Let's say you just click on this SVG button here, and automatically it's gonna go in and you can download this, right? You just have to log in or create a free account with them, but most of these are free. Some of them are paid, but again, because of the fact that you have the option to upload any SVG file, it opens up incredible opportunities for you, incredible options for you, and gives you that extra ability to take your business to the next level with DoodleMaker by your side. Pretty powerful, right? So now you have all the stuff, right? When it comes to video creation, when it comes to getting your video process to the next level, I gave you that free tool today, by the way, which you can pretty much get access to here on the special link, newsoftwaredemo.com/bonus. I've given you all these cool tools, but the thing is, one of the biggest points that come in is okay, it's great, but Paul, we're going through a pandemic right now. There's so many other stuff. There's some businesses which might be interested in getting my videos created for them, but some aren't. Some are not doing so well. There's so much uncertainty out there. What's happening? What do we need to do? And how do we leverage and take our business to the next level and so on? So I've been thinking about it a lot actually, because it's not, I'm generally in my own world doing my own stuff and so on. And oftentimes I get messages from people just like you, and then we'll do our Facebook live streams and so on and so forth. And then the number one question that comes in is, okay, that's all fine. This is the holiday season, and we have 45 days or whatever left in the holiday season. And if, Paul, you were cornered, right? Like if I was cornered and I was beginning, I had no money, no relationships, no experience, nothing. I had like zero skills and so on, and I had to come up with a plan to generate revenue. What would that be? Because you see, the holiday season expenses go up like crazy, right? Like every one of you all have like high expenses and so on and so forth. You have bills to pay and all that. And so what could be a way that you could do some methods that you can utilize in your business and right away, basically, that is time sensitive, that you had to put in, meaning like you had no other option, but you got to make some revenue. What would that be? So that's what I kind of wanted to share as well, because this is a customer appreciation webinar. I've been in business for over 13 years. Next year will be 14. So I thought, why don't I give away all my strategies and tips and tricks and all that good stuff, so that you can all take advantage of it and really get your business to the next level, right? So that's what I've been thinking a lot, and I thought, why not? This would be the perfect webinar to kind of explain this process to you, right? So that's something I've been thinking about. Would you be interested in something like that? The idea is that, people always ask me, holiday season, the bills are coming up. I got to buy gifts for my family, friends, and so on. What are some methods I can use to quickly, immediately, right, to get results that will work regardless if I have experience, I have customers, existing customers, a list. Do I have an existing audience? Even if I don't have a YouTube channel or existing resources and all that stuff? And believe me, one of the biggest things again and again that comes across is this concept, right? Which is show me how to do it without anything. Like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example so you folks can understand, okay? This online entrepreneurship space, like online marketing space, okay? I basically retired from it, if you will, back in 2000 and if you will, let me show you here. From 2013 to late 2016, I was away from this market almost, if you count 2013, almost 4 years, right? So when I got back, right, and I came back because, just like everybody else, I wanted to prove myself to be in this business and so on. And then I had no communication with anybody. I had no skills. I had no connections. I just came literally living on an island, right, in Latin America for like so many years. And then I came back into the game. So now, you know what happened? At that point, when you're beginning from scratch all over again, it's a question of confidence, right? It's not about the money. Money can go and forth, but if you can prove to yourself and your family and everybody else that you can make this kind of money with no experience, I'm talking like hundreds of millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands, I'm talking about 10 to 20 grand. If you can do it, then it's going to give you confidence that you can do anything, right? And you can achieve anything. So this is the exact same thing I did. Okay, the exact same thing. I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process that I did to get this 10 to 20 grand, okay? And believe me, when I show it to you, it's going to be so simple that you're going to be like, wow, this is it? Wow, I didn't know it was that easy. I can do it. Okay, so now, what we need to do to make this possible, let's talk about that, okay? That's very, very important, because otherwise, you're not going to really get any benefit. So first of all, we need to follow the trends, okay? So meaning what I'm trying to explain, and this is something you folks can also agree or disagree with me, whatever, is if you see the marketplace, right? Let's say e-commerce as an example, buying stuff online, right? The trajectory, like let's say if you put a bar graph here, this is how the trajectory is, right? Now we are probably somewhere here, okay? When it comes to e-commerce, we're somewhere around here. And so I'll put e-com here. What's being like online sales and people buying stuff online. Now, the same trajectory, again, I want to be very clear so you understand. This is another graph, let's say. Okay, my drawing is not the best in the world, trust me. So, but let me drive home the point. So offline businesses, right? Like let's say your restaurants or agencies, or even for that matter, let's say cruise ships or your airline businesses and so on. They've been more along this trajectory, right? So like this. Now, what I think is we're probably somewhere around here in this schematic, and this is maybe I'll just put offline. Okay. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is, do you agree with me on this, that we cannot really, at the end of the day, fight the marketplace, right? I mean, the marketplace is made up of billions of people and different interests and so on, and different governments and all that stuff. You could argue saying, okay, let's revive this industry, but it's going to be extremely difficult if you enter this right now because it's kind of trajectories down. On the other hand, it's much easier if you go here, right, in this industry right here. I mean, it makes sense, right? Logically, if you were here, just as the financial sector like to call it, you're having the wins in your sales, right? So basically, you're just getting pushed to the next level. So then I thought, how do I utilize this into my business where if we are really talking big numbers, yeah, almost $1 trillion of e-commerce sales is going to be made. And in that, 200 billion they're projecting is going to be done in the next, 2 months. So therefore, how do we leverage this? That's number one. And secondly, how do we cash out from it in January, okay? So let's put January 2021 as our goal, okay? January 2021. So if we put that, that's not much time left, right? So that is literally the clock is ticking as we speak. So if we put that as our framework, how do we achieve this process, okay? Where we can reach that goal of 10 to 20 grand that we want to achieve, to US dollars, by the way, right? That we can achieve by January. Now, we can make a lot more doing this, by the way. I'm going to make a lot more, but in the mere minimum, how do we do it? So that's what this webinar will be all about. I'll be showing you how to do this, and more importantly, how to avoid going in the wrong trends, okay? Because I'm not going to be the kind of person who's going to say, oh, go to an industry like restaurants and try to offer them video creation services. It's going to be difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible. In the next couple of months, if really push comes to shove and I really had to succeed, there was no excuses, like I had no option, that's not something I would recommend you to do, right? Obviously, because you only have 2 months left. So not much time, maybe even less than 2 months, I would say, more like 45 days to 50 days left. So if that is the case, if you only have 45 to 50 days left, what do we do to succeed, okay? So this is what I'm going to be showing you, okay? So first of all, we figured out we got to go into a highly trending area, right? We want to make sure that we go into an area where it's trending, where things are happening, where money is being spent, money is actually getting transferred across, right? And billions and trillions of dollars in transactions are occurring. So now that is set. So now what we need to do next is figure out what will be the modality where we do it, okay? So that means very, very simple. I'm not going to complicate it too much for you, okay? And I know because sometimes people, when I talk about it, they kind of get flustered with this stuff and all that stuff. So figure out traffic, right? We need to figure out traffic, meaning what do we need to do to get people to buy something? So I'll show you how to get traffic today for free, okay? Whether it is for your videos, for your products and services and so on. That's step number one. You need traffic. Then you need a product, right? And then product is something I'll explain to you, how do you get it? And then finally, you need to build a brand, okay? Both are related, by the way. You're going to do this. Both are related. The last thing is you need to build a brand, okay? So these are the three things that you need. They're all in line with each other. So back then, when I got started back in 2016, with nothing, no experience, no nothing, and I wanted to make something from myself, I did something. And I want to explain to you folks what I exactly did. I'll actually show you the real stats so you folks can actually see it. You all can, basically follow along with what I'm teaching you and so on. And more importantly, implement it, okay? Because, yeah, otherwise, if you're not implementing it at the end of the day, it's like we're both wasting our time, right? Like at the end of the day. So I wanted to show you something, and I hope you can get some experience from this, and you can also follow along exactly what I did, okay? So the basic idea here, okay, is I want you folks to understand something, which is make sure whatever it is that you do, you follow somebody who's done it with zero experience, zero skills, and zero everything, okay? So what I did, and this is something I wanted to kind of show you folks as well, okay, is you need to understand that there is a marketplace right now, okay, that you can actually utilize to not only get buyers, traffic, and so on, but also cash out. I'll show you the exact process right now, step by step, so that nothing is left to chance. Okay, is that fair? So I'll show you everything. I'll show you the messages. I'll show you behind the scenes stuff and so on. I'll actually show you the dates so you can all see it and follow along with me. And you can basically follow on and do exactly as I am sharing with you folks. Okay, fair enough? Okay, so let me show you that right now. Real quickly so that you folks can see it. You can all follow along. So
first of all, let's go step by step, and then I'll show you the real stats, okay? Step number one, we talked about a brand or a product, okay? So first things first, let's talk about it. I built a brand. Let's say I'll show you how to build a brand and so on. So for example, this is one of the brands, right? Just getyourbabygoods.com for your baby, okay? Now, this is just baby products and so on. It's an e-commerce site. It's all fine and dandy, but this is something you all can create. And if you have never seen something like this before, don't worry, I'll go through this process. So now I built a platform like this one to do. Now, if you're using Shopify for it, I don't recommend. It's monthly fees and so on, but you can do it too when you build something like this. And today I'll show you how to build unlimited amount of these, by the way, and I'll show you how I can help you do that and so on. This is step number one, okay? We'll do something like this, okay? Now, the next thing you're going to ask is products, right? How do I get these products as well for wholesale price? I'll talk about that. Don't worry. That's all fine. You all probably are familiar with it. But the second thing is we got the products. We got the website. The third thing is traffic, right? And traffic is something which is a little bit of a, if you will, a tricky thing, right? A lot of times people talk about Facebook ads and so on and so forth. Well, you all know something, right? Which is an absolute killer thing that came about recently. And that's something that a lot of people have been really talking about for a while now, right? And that is, okay, you got the traffic, but I don't want to spend money on Facebook ads, right? Which is, if you're going to spend money on Facebook ads, for example, I spend money on Facebook ads. Right now, I'm spending like $5,000 to $10,000 a day on Facebook ads. But that's good for scaling, right? Meaning if I'm already making $500, $300 a day, to scale up is easy. But how do I get that first $200, $300 a day? Because if I don't do that, Facebook is not going to give me a single penny back, right? Today, if I tell you, go spend $100 a day on Facebook ads, if you don't make a single sale or a single dollar in profit, then Facebook is not going to give you that money back, right? So they're never going to give you a single penny back. It's no refunds for them, right? So you're going to lose confidence and you're going to give up. So basically, that's why I'm going to show you some trends that have occurred recently and how to use it to your advantage, okay? So that you can literally use this for your benefit. So for the first one, again, I'll go into depth, was you can use Google right now, and I'll show you some examples of it, to get unlimited free traffic by listing products on Google Shopping for free. It's a new trend. It was in April 21st. I'm not even making it up. They started on April 21st, 2020, just a few months ago. And it actually really rolled out sometime around June or so. And again, this was first one. And second one was Facebook, right? Facebook opened up something called Facebook Shops, right? Which was something like, again, I'll show you some examples of it, but you can have a Facebook shop created and you can immediately start getting sales, right? Mark Zuckerberg did Facebook Shops where you can now literally have any products on Facebook and you can list them, and Facebook is going to, through Instagram and all that stuff, send you all this free traffic, right? But I share that too with a lot of you folks and so on. And this is how it works, right? You create Facebook shops, making online sales easy, right? Which is basically when people are browsing Facebook, which gets millions and millions of visitors, by the way, billions, actually 2 billion, by the way. And you can have people shop from within Facebook, and Facebook is going to actually help you out by giving you all the traffic you need. These are the facts, right? So I'll show you how to leverage these platforms, how to use it, and so on and so forth. But that's all great. You're going to make some money doing this. I'm going to show you how to do this, how to automate it and all that. But you're going to make maybe, let's say, $50 a day, $100 a day, maybe $200 a day, because you got to understand, if there is a countdown timer, there's only 45 days left. How do you make 10 grand out of it? How do you make 15 grand out of it, right? This is what I wanted to explain to you, okay? So for the first time ever, I'm going to reveal something that nobody else has ever talked about before, and that is you come up with some concept like this one. I'll show you how to do that. But the end result, okay, very, very important. Sell this business on a platform called Flippa.com. There's multiple other ones, but Flippa.com is where you sell a business that you build like this one, and you can sell unlimited amount of them. So what do I mean by that? So here's an example, okay? The same kind of websites, okay? And I remember, I'll show you. This is one of my accounts. Actually, I have another one, which is more for an enterprise account. This is my personal account in Flippa. I want to show you this. Again, nobody has seen it. Watch this. I've sold these this is 4 years ago, exactly 2016. Remember I told you when I got back into the business, right? Check this out. About 11 years ago, I sold this business just over $90,000, but actually it ended up selling over 6 figures. Again, my real life Flippa account is not something fake and so on. And then check this out. This website right here, which was similar to what I'm showing you, $950 it sold for. The very next day I sold this other one for $1,000, and the very next day I sold this one for $850. But it doesn't show something else, which I did from my other accounts because I don't want to show you all my stuff, and I have some NDA agreements with the buyers. But I want to show you particularly in this case some of these exact ones which are sold. Okay, again, none of these were actually making thousands of dollars a day or anything like that. Some of these were not even making any sales. I did this again in this platform, and I'll show you some real life examples, but something I wanted to show you very quickly here. As an example, watch this website, okay? So what I wanted to show you with this particular website, check this out, right? It was, as you can see here, it was something which was selling designer watches or something like that. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that here, check this out. There were a lot of people who were messaging here and so on, but check this out. This one, 113 people were watching it. And if you go to my messages here real quick, right? Watch this. Check this out. Go to my messages real quick. Check this. For this domain, right? Hey, can you please add me on Skype? I want to buy another domain like this. Check this messages here, right? Watch. If I go into the third page, check this. This is basically not one person. These are multiple people. You see this? Marcus, David, there is Dennis, there's Michelle, there's Chris, there's Leslie. Okay, these are real people who said, hey, I wanted to get a website like this one. Can you build it for me? I'll pay you that $1,000. Okay, this is Francis here, Elvin, what's this? Philip. Then there is Mike, 6679, I guess, Austin, Cole, this is CP, Sean, Son, Matthew Morris. These are all people who I built, okay, websites just like this one, okay, right? And they came to me, like, because one person ended up winning it, okay, one, obviously, because it's a bid and everything. They paid $1,000 for this particular one domain name, okay, which I'm showing you real stats, right? And then this one person did, and then all these other people started messaging me saying, can you, I lost that bid by like $50 or whatever, right? This is Oscar, this is Travis, this is Jordan, Orlando. You see this, right? Check this. Ramy, Brendan, for this one website, for this watch website, right? So what I'm trying to get at is this one website I built, I listed it on Flippa. I'll show you how to do this process. I got the products in there for it from suppliers and so on. And then I had almost 50 to 20 unique people message me to pay me $1,000, $800, $750, $600 to build it. And then I said, fine, why not? And then it added up, right? Because 10, I got like, let's just simple math, right? I'll show it to you. And you can take their Skype ID, you can get their email ID, they're going to give it to you in the messages. So it's simple, right? Let's do simple math here. So 15 people were on average willing to pay $800 for this website. I made $12,000 just in that 2-week period, just doing this, okay? You see the point I'm trying to make? And that is why I want you all to do this. Because see, sometimes, right, we're all in a crunch time, right? Right now, as I'm speaking, we're into November. And we don't have that much time left. You have 45, 50 days for the holiday season. Holiday season is the best time to get sales, right? So if that is the case, why don't you take advantage of it and do exactly what I did when I got started with 0 skills, right? And that's what the money I use to build and fund my businesses and grow it, okay? And when people talk about stuff, right, a lot of people talk about big numbers and everything else. I want to show you that that's the way you begin, okay? Confidence is everything. Like if I can show you a million other things to do. I can show you how to build an agency, how to get like 100 grand wire transfers from big clients and so on, which I'm working with all the time. But at the end of the day, if you don't get any results in the interim, you're not going to get the confidence from yourself, your family, and so on, right? And that's one of the big reasons why I tell people, take stuff seriously, okay? Don't take it easy, because you should always have a timer. You should have a countdown timer running around in the back of your mind, right? So for instance, this is my PayPal account, right? Check this out. This is one PayPal account. It's a real account and so on. In the last 90 days, it's made $964,319. And actually, this is one of my smaller payments, actually. If you'd see my other businesses that I'm in, Stripe and so on, 60% of our sales are made in Stripe these days. So if you go into the last 90 days here, check this out. This is the worldwide. See these sales here. And more importantly, I want to show you something even more important here, okay? So check this out. 2019, we made $1,834,862 in this one account. I have 2 more with my partners and so on. So almost around this range. But anyway, that's irrelevant. What I want to show you is 2019 is 1,834. Let's check 2020 here, okay? Look at that. 52% growth, 2.66. Okay, by the end of this year, it's going to be 3 easy. Why I want to show this is I'm the real deal, first of all. But I want to show you that the pandemic and all that, it can be looked at in a negative way, but also a positive way. But you can only get to this level if you have confidence from yourself and your family and so on that you're doing things right, okay? To do this, and it's very, very important, okay? You got to use platforms, okay? I just don't know any other way to do it but use platforms. What I mean by your websites, businesses, and so on. Use Google to get the traffic, okay? You cannot do it with paid ads. You're going to give up. You cannot just figure out some other platform. Let me log off here real quick. You cannot just go and do everything on your own. You got to rely on the platforms which control the traffic out there, right? Like Google, like Facebook, and so on, like Flippa, that they control the market for buying and selling websites and businesses, right? So your goal should be, okay, I know how to get, for instance, now what formula that Paul is showing me, now how do I get the pieces together, right? So for instance, what I mean by that is, let's go back to Flippa here. I sold a business, as I said, for over 6 figures, and I've done it privately as well, with sometimes I didn't even need to list it on Flippa, because once I got the leads of people looking to buy the businesses because they added me on Skype and so on, well, or even for the matter of email and so on, I could literally make sales thereafter in other places. So if you go into Flippa right now, okay, and I want to show you this example right now, you go into their main website, flippa.com, and click on e-commerce, right? That category e-commerce. You check this out, right? Tattooing.com, $51,000 it's bidding for right now, and it's still 13 days left. 7 people had bid on it, okay, right now. Okay, this is babytown.com, $28,000 it's being listed for. You can even go into Flippa right now, and you can go to websites, all websites, and you can find out where, okay, which kind of website. If you click dropship as an example, because that's what it is, where the products are being dropshipped from the supplier, you don't hold any inventory or anything. You scroll down real quick. There's actually an option here called, as you can see here, recently sold, okay? Recently sold, right? Does that make sense? So if you click on recently sold, I'll remove the open, okay? So that you can all see it very clearly, very carefully, okay? And then now go back here, check this out. This one sold for $999, okay? This website, just about, I don't know, very recently, I guess. This one right here. And this person who sold it was from Morocco. They were not even from the US and so on. Where you are located doesn't matter, okay? Where you're located does not matter, okay? That's what I want you to remember this, okay? Make sure that you understand. Doesn't matter where you're located. So now if I go into flippa.com, okay, check this out, okay? How many websites have sold? This one sold for 30,000, 120,000, okay? This one sells rings and so on. This one sells for, this one's $3,400 for teeth, improving teeth, I guess, teeth products. This one is for swimwear, right? $500. I can go on and on and on and on, right? Now, what's interesting here, okay? Let's say this is the golf one, right? livinggolfer.com or whatever. Go click here. 19 people bid on this one, okay? Remember I was telling you about? It's a starter website. It was less than 3 months old, right? It didn't have any history. Like if you see here, it did have 0 history. It literally started making sales from October 2020, meaning it had 0 sales until October. And they sold it for $805. Now if you look at 19 bids here, let's click on it. I want to show you something interesting here. You see there's 6 bidders, right? Bidder number 6 here. You see that? So if you see here, 6 people bid on it. That means, again, if I go back to my messages, okay, let me show you this. You can message every one of these people and you can go. So like an example right here, let me go to my watch one. I'll show you the designer watch. Check this. Watch this. Some of these guys will give you their information. See this? Okay. And they're going to ask you, hey, I'm checking in. Were you able to add me on Skype, right? Can you add me there? And they would say, would you accept $700? You see this? Mitchell, Corey, or whatever. Would you accept? These are the kind of people who message you. So 6 people right here. Check this out. And 6 days ago, in this case, you can message every one of them and say, hey, look, you lost the bid. This one sold for $805. Would you be interested to get it for $600 or $650? Something similar. I'll build the same one for you. Something similar to this one. And wouldn't they do it? Because it's fear of missing out, right? FOMO. And so therefore, anybody who's already bid on something and they've lost that item, they're interested in buying that, right? So right there, you could have gotten 5 other buyers to pay $800, $600 or whatever. That's almost an average of $3,000 you would have made, right? Simple stuff. And I'm showing you what I did, okay? And you'll even see the history. It says 4 years ago exactly, because that's when I started with 0 knowledge, 0 skill set. And then I outsourced this process, what I'm sharing with you. And so I kept it secret for so long. And it works like crazy during the holiday season. Why does it work like crazy during the holiday season? Well, because everybody's buying stuff online in the holiday season, right? More now than ever before because of the pandemic stuff. That means all you have to do is build a website like this one, okay? Or any one of them. Like you can check out all these other examples that I have for you here. And you build any website like this one, you just get a little bit of sales for it. Even if you didn't get any sales, it's fine, but you just have to get a little bit of sales, which is very easy to do in this holiday season. And I'll show you how to do it. And then once you do it, you just sell this stuff in January, right? Or February or whenever you want, and you can cash out. So not only have you kept the profit that you've generated, let's say you made $50 a day in profit by then. That's almost like what is it, 1,500 bucks, right? In 30 days, in about 40 days, let's say it's 3,000, 2,500 bucks or whatever. You can keep that $2,500 in profit that you made, plus sell this for another 2,500 bucks or whatever, or 3,000, and you made 5,500. And then all these other people who are messaging, okay? And I want to show you this part, which is very, very critical, right? Let me show you another example here. Let's say fairy face mask, travel mom. Okay, let's see here another one. The room outdoors. Let me just check something simple. Okay, this one. Okay, high profit margins, blah, blah, blah. 61 people bid on this one. Okay, this one, I think it's selling, what is it really selling here? General store. Okay, it just sells anything and everything kind of store. Okay, now check this out. 61 people bid on it for 999 bucks. Doesn't sound like a lot, but 61 bid. Let's find here. Let's scroll down. Okay, 22 unique bidders for this one website. 22 unique bidders. Okay, that means 21 other people are willing to buy this kind of business if you can build it for them. Then maybe not all 21 will buy, but 15, 16 people will buy. That's 15, 16 grand right there, right? If assuming you sell it for like 900 bucks, 1,000 bucks and so on. This is the strategy. Very simple. Use the marketplace. There are people who are here. You don't have to go call any customers. You don't have to go and find buyers or whatever. You have them, right? They're there waiting for you. What are you really, missing out here, right? So we pretty much simplified this process, right? Now, let me show you how to really use this, leverage this, and automate this. Because as I said, for just joining this webinar, as you know, earlier on in the webinar, I gave you that special bonus, right? Which was that bonus, which was a really cool video creation software. So you can all literally go to that page if you just joined us, newsoftwaredemo.com/bonus. So for me, I could invest a lot of money into free tools like this so I can give it to you because I got started with that exact strategy, okay? Which was build something people want to buy, make sure that you get some traffic to it, get some sales to it, and then sell that business so that you can do it again and again. You can repeat it again and again, right? So now to automate this, how do we automate it? Because see, there's some components here, okay? Even if I build this business, right? This baby product kind of business here, right? Even if I did that, right? I still need traffic to this page. I still need the products here. And then I still need the third component of it, okay, which is free traffic and have the automation in place so that when I'm handing this website over to the end buyer, I don't have to worry about the web hosting. I don't have to worry about the monthly fees. I don't have to worry about the customer support, any of that stuff, because everything is handled for us behind the scenes. Does that make sense? So that it'll all come together. So now we know how to do this process, right? What do we need to do? Basically, what we need to do, what we need to follow in terms of the process. Now I'll show you how to do it, okay? Is that cool? Because see, we know what the end result is. The end result is to sell it on Flippa, find those bidders, like 20 to 25 bidders, and then sell to those folks more of these kind of businesses. Now, how do we do it? That's the bigger question, right? How do we do it? Because we got to get there. So how do we do this process where it'll become an irresistible thing? Like here, 22 people bid on this business and it sold for 999 bucks, right? But at the end of the day, from those 22 people, a lot of people will actually end up buying. But how do we get to this point? How do we get to this point where we list it? How do we get to this point where we sell it? How do we get to this point to make something valuable in the marketplace? Okay, it's very important you understand. It's not what I decided. It's not what I decided to put or whatever, okay? See, this $999 value, right, that you see, I didn't make it up, right? It's a public auction, as you can see here. It's what people have valued it, okay? So this is another important thing. Value is what the marketplace is willing to pay us. It's not what I think it is. It's not what you think it is, okay? Now, if it took you maybe, let's say, 30 minutes to maybe 3 hours of your time, right? Let's say roughly of actual work to build a business like this one and sold it for 1,000 bucks, 999 bucks, right? Let's say I've done it multiple times, as I've shown you. I've even done it for over 6 figures before. Don't you agree with me that at the end of the day, for that 3 hours work, you can replicate it again and again. Your time is worthwhile, right? And that's what is it worth? 300 bucks an hour or something, right? Now, you could say, is that hard work or easy work? Whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? Because somebody who's actually shoveling the snow in winter, or somebody who's actually picking up the, stocking shelves, or working in, for example, McDonald's flipping burgers, they're working hard too, right? But they're getting minimum wage. Maybe it's 10 bucks an hour or whatever. Is it fair that you're getting 300 bucks an hour, or this person here, or me, or you, for that matter, well, that other person isn't? That's the kind of discussion I want to have as well here, which is you should not care. Marketplace, okay? Understand what the marketplace is willing to buy, what they're willing to pay, and do just that, because we have only 45 days this holiday season. So my goal is to show you how to get there, okay? All right, so you got that simplified, right? Very easy. You understand this part so far, right? So now let's talk about how to do this, because that's the bigger point here. How do we do it, and how do we do this process? Because see, I've automated the whole process, and I've done it in such a way that anyone, including you, can do it without any excuses, without any like mumbo jumbo stuff and so on, okay? Because see, the biggest problem people have is it's always the problem becomes, I know how to do things, but I don't know how to implement it, right? So what I'm going to make a promise to you today, okay, is I'm going to not only show you how to automate this whole process, I'll show you how to make it profitable for you and so on. But the other promise I make to you is guaranteed I'll get you traffic to these businesses. I'll guaranteed I'm going to make sure that you can build a business like this, first of all, like an online store, like all these bunch of products and so on. And guaranteed I'm going to show you how to sell one of these websites, meaning I'll show you this whole process and automate it. Well, how can I be so sure? Well, it's because, some of you might be thinking, okay, that sounds great. I need to buy Shopify and so on. No, you don't have to buy that. And then you might be wondering, okay, it's going to cost me a lot of money to set this whole thing up. Well, it's not. This is how I'm going to make it simple so you can have a peace of mind, okay? I will make sure you get all the technologies and so on in one place to make this happen, I'll automate it and everything. Secondly, I'll also make sure that you get one-on-one assistance in Skype from my team and myself to ensure you implement this stuff, meaning having a extra guidance so that you can implement things. And if you make a profit, you can pay us. If you do not make a profit, it's fine. We don't want a single penny from you, okay? Meaning zero risk on your part and all the risk is on us, okay? And the reason why I want to do this is because I see all the time, you see this cool technologies, you see what I've done, but you'll give up because there's maybe hours and hours of tutorials you got to watch or whatever, you're going to give up, right? So that's the reason why I wanted to show you this concept, which is very important, which is to dominate industries and make sure that you do it in such a way where somebody's always there on Skype to assist you every step of the way, because sometimes that could be the difference between success and failure, especially if we have only 45 days this holiday season, right? So I want to show you something, and I want to make sure that you're implementing this stuff, okay? Because if you don't, then you're going to be missing out on some, probably the greatest holiday season ever, right? Right now, e-commerce is the fastest growing platform out there and fastest growing trend out there, more than courses, more than ebooks, more than everything else, right? And here's the research that backs it up, by the way, okay? So you can see here, right? This is eMarketer. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but eMarketer is a platform where pretty much their entire business model is reliant upon data and analytics and research and so on and so forth. So what they found out, right, as you can see, it's undeniable proof right here. And that is e-commerce, right, has increased by 18% this year. Obviously, everybody knows it, right? And brick and mortar sales, because of the pandemic and so on, has gone down by 14%. So that means there's 18% growth in e-commerce and than ever before, than last year. And that's we're talking out of 700 billion in actual revenue that was transacted for e-commerce, right? So that means that was almost, I think, around 200 billion more or something along those lines, right? 150 billion more just in the past few months alone this year was transacted in the US alone. That's, if you put worldwide, like 5 times more or something like that easily, right? And expecting that 14.5% more growth in the rest of the year, right? Making it an all-time high and the biggest share increase in e-commerce in a single year. Meaning there was a recent article that came out, and there's a reason why I'm telling that. I'm not trying to bore you with data, but there was a recent article that came out that in the last 3 months alone, e-commerce made such a big leap that it took 10 years before that. So meaning in the last 3 months, we made such a big leap in growth that it took the last 10 years to do so. And maybe in the next 3 months, it might be 20 years it took to get to this level in terms of the reach, in terms of the usage and so on. More people are buying stuff online than ever before, right? You probably buy it, your friends, your family, and so on and so forth. So then the problem then is, it sounds so simple, it sounds great, but there's a problem though. And that is, if you're familiar with the platform called Shopify, right? It's a top e-commerce platform and so on. The number one biggest post out there is, hey, I'm getting traffic, but no sales. You see this, right? You can go right now to Shopify's search in their community, in their forums. You can type in traffic, no sales, right? Thousands and thousands of people, right, are posting this, which is, hey, I'm getting some traffic, but I'm getting no sales. Why is it? Like, I'm spending money on Facebook advertising. I'm spending money on Google. You guys told me to do all this stuff. Like, all these gurus tell me to do that. Why am I not getting? And then you see all these people posting saying, buy my service, buy my agency services to get your traffic, buy my, I don't know, chatbot service, buy my whatever, right? stuff, and then that doesn't solve the problem either. And then there's solutions like improve your bounce rates, improve your conversions, and so on. Again, here's another one. Lots of traffic, no sales, right? And again, traffic is great, but why am I not getting sales? And here you go. It's another question. It's like, where are you getting it? Your bounce rates and so on. Doesn't solve the big problem, which is, and you probably already guessed it, traffic is useless. What matters is buyer traffic, specifically targeted buyer traffic, meaning that person should have intent to purchase. That person should not be like browsing some cat videos on Facebook and then they landed on a page on a fertilizer spreader, right? Why would they buy that? There's no relevance point, right? There's no intent. Somebody's interested in a fertilizer spreader because they want to buy that, or a dog bed for their pet. They want to be interested in it. They have intent for it, right? Like that intent should be there. And that's the difference. Nobody wants to talk about it because nobody has figured it out just the right way like I have. It took me over 3 years to figure it out, to be honest, right? Because one thing is to figure it out. One thing is to make it simple so that anybody, including you, can do it and implement it and start getting results, okay? So that's when I went in deeper and figured out what's causing this main concern, which is, okay, we found out the issue is that it is untargeted traffic and people have no buyer intent. Then where do we find this buyer intent, right? And where do we find people with this interest in buying? Because if there's traffic and there's no sales, I know that other article that I showed you, e-commerce has grown by 18%. Somebody's making money, right? They have to. Like, where is that revenue being transacted? So that's when I went in and I figured out, okay, what is happening right now? And that is everybody's trying to go for the untargeted, this no buyer intent based traffic, and very few people are going for buyer intent based traffic. And then this article came about a few months back, right? Which is Mark Zuckerberg personally worked and coded a system called Facebook Shops, okay? Making it easier for businesses to list their products for sale, right? And why would he do that? And it's 100% for free, by the way. You can set it up. I'll show you how to do it, how they look like, and so on. Now, that means literally you can put a product up for sale on Facebook, and Facebook is going to list it to their 2 billion plus visitors per month, and they're going to do that for free. Well, it's because they want to actually benefit a lot of these small businesses, brick and mortar stores and manufacturers and so on, who normally would have been just fine not being online, but they want to ensure that these folks come online so they can make more revenue off of them. And also they want to be the first ones to capture these new people who are coming in online, right? Now, the next question you're going to say is, wow, that sounds great. How do I list my products on Facebook Shops? But wait, where do I actually get these products to list from? So first, I'll solve that problem on where to get the products, don't worry. And if we solve that issue of hot products like that fertilizer spreader and so on with great margins and so on, that'll be great. But the key point is Facebook Shops right now are for free. And here's the thing, they're looking at an integration so that you can sell on Instagram Shops, which is going to link it to Facebook Shops, and also WhatsApp, because Facebook owns all these three. So then you can have shops on WhatsApp, Instagram, and so on. It's going to roll out in the next few months, if not, maybe even a few weeks, depending on how fast they do it. And now it's another thing that came out again a few months ago. Again, because of the pandemic, they want to grow Google Shopping, right? Which was a paid thing, meaning you wanted to sell your products on Google's own search engine, list them up and sell it. You had to spend some money on advertising. Well, they made it for free forever, okay, just about a few months ago. That means, imagine this. You can list, and I'm going to show you some exact examples on how you can do it and what it requires on your end to make that happen. What that means is that you can list any product for free, okay, on Google and get the top rankings. Here's an example, right? Let's go straight into the examples. This is Gerbera self-adhesive wallpaper, right? Basically, this is that wallpaper that people might be interested. Very, very targeted word. People did their research and they do it. Here's an example. On the top, right? Amazon is the first ranked listing, but check this out. On the top, right? The very, very top part, the sponsored listing, these are what we like to call as Google Shopping, meaning you can get there for free, okay? Above Amazon, by the way. So you see that. You're not spending a single penny on this, by the way, just so you understand. You're not spending a single penny to do that. And you can do this in a few hours, in a matter of hours. I'm not talking about weeks or months or getting on a call with some Google rep and begging them, pleading them. No, it's a simple automated system, and it's called a product feed, okay? And I'll talk about that as we go along, what a product feed means, why is it important, and all that stuff. No worries, don't worry about that technicalities here. But what is important that you need to understand is that you can do this now. without spending a single penny in advertising. Now, you might say, but who's going to go search for this specific keyword like wallpaper for home decor? Well, it might be 10 to 20 people per day, but it's very targeted, right? The buyer intent is there. Now, here's another example. In some countries, it's going to show like this, where you type in that exact keyword, which is maybe 10 to 20 visitors a day, buyer intent keywords, and it's going to show up to your right. Here's another example I wanted to show you. This is consider foam finger puppets, right? Basically, it's toys, right? Right now, toys are really hot for kids and so on because all the kids are generally at home or not going to school and so on, so they want to be entertained and so on. So a lot of demand for this. And check this out. To your left, that's what you see is Amazon and the other listings, right? Who are paying for ads. And to your right, you see that? Those are what's called Google Shops, okay? Those listings are 100% for free forever, meaning not for like 1 week trial or whatever. You can get that for free for however long that you wish to be there. Now, you see that, right? You see eBay, Walmart is there, and then there's something called Discount Bandit there, right? You could be that Discount Bandit. That's what I'm trying to say. So you could be listed right there. And then the traffic, by the way, gets sent straight to your website, your funnel, your page, wherever you want it to go to. That's the secret, okay? That's where the beauty is, because now you can get to retarget them. You can get to do whatever you want. Here's another example. This is a Dream Gear Universal Wired Gaming Headset, right? This is a gaming headset, meaning, right now gaming is hot as well, online gaming, you probably know this. Well, somebody's interested in this. They're going to search for it. And to your right, as you can see, these are all listings in Google Shopping, 100% for free. You could be listed that your product could be actually there. And even if you don't have a product, I'll show you how you can get products like this one, exactly like this one, and with great markups and with nothing on your part to be done, meaning all the shipping, all the product development, all that stuff is done by somebody else, handled by somebody else. You don't have to do anything. You just get it listed there and you're good to go. And then the traffic comes already. And once you get that customers, you can sell them other related products, right? There's so many gaming chairs, for example, in this example. There's so many other products you can sell them, right? And here's the thing. It's better than affiliate marketing because you have full control over the buyers. You have full control over the data. And more importantly, you can list an unlimited amount of these products out there so that they're all doing their little part in actually getting you traffic and sales. Just like how I was saying, Google Shops, well, Facebook Shops also was something more recent, okay? And Mark Zuckerberg himself quoted it. And I'll show you an example of how this looks like in just a sec. But you get the idea now, right? That must be giving you a lot of ideas. So for example, you wanted normally to get top search engine rankings, so you had to do a lot of work, right? You got to pay a developer. You got to pay a search and optimization specialist. You got to do like backlinks and, so much mumbo jumbo stuff to get that rankings. And it might take you months or even years or ever you'll ever get that rankings. On the other hand, you could pay money on advertising, but you probably know costs for every single click that you are going to get costs you money, right? Google is going to charge you money for like $2 a click, $5 a click, and so on. Here, you don't have to spend a single penny on that traffic. So now that traffic issue is solved with this, right? And that is very important because it's in Google's best interest to send you that traffic, though. That's why it's so long-term. It's going to work even many years from now because it's in Google's best interest. Why is it in Google's best interest or Facebook's best interest? Because if you make more sales, they can get more businesses to advertise on their platform. And rather than, let's say, Google getting all the share, Facebook wants to get some of that share too, because more businesses are coming online now than ever before. People who didn't even want to come online, right? And that makes it a big potential for you in two ways. One, you can sell your own products, get traffic, but also as an agency, you can do this for other businesses as well and actually charge them a lot of money doing this, okay? Now, the secret to making this happen, though, is something called a product feed. Now, what is a product feed exactly, and how do you create one? Well, for creating a product feed, there's two simple processes, okay? One, you need to have the products, okay, what products you want to have. And secondly, this is an example of a Facebook shop, right, as you can see here. Now, secondly, you want to list that sunglasses, right, the information, like that image of that photo of that glasses, the pricing, all that information that you see right now. Well, that is the information that the product feed will contain, okay? And then you want to list it like here in the Facebook shop. All the Facebook shop system would require is if that information is correct and accurate the way they want it, okay, the format that they want it. It's not like somebody's like sitting there and manually uploading, uploading these images for you, right? Or you having to manually upload them. What they need is how much inventory do you have, meaning how much are in stock, what are the images, what's the name of it, what's the price, and some information like that. And once you give it to that, they'll allow you to list it in that platform, okay? And that makes it really, really powerful simply because there is no approval process. Like they'll only say your content is good or bad, meaning is it accepted or denied, right? And now if you get denied, it's not like the end of the world. You just have to fix that product feed and re-upload it all over again. And then again, voila, it's done. You don't have to do anything else extra. It's not like somebody's approving you, disapproving you, and so on. Same with Google, by the way. They might disapprove you. They might even, say completely deny you for good, but you can just recreate the whole process and do it again. It takes you a few more days, right? Or a few more hours, whatever it is. And then once you got it done once, it's done for good. Now, let's go to the next part of the process. You see, there's something called multi-channel selling, which is you want to get sales from everywhere. If I were to sell that fertilizer spreader, and by the way, I'll give you this exact product and how you can get access to and all that good stuff. I want to sell it on eBay too, because you see this, right? 111 units was sold for this one just in the last week or so, okay? So wouldn't you agree with me that you want to sell this everywhere to get that buyer traffic? Shouldn't be like, oh, I'm just going to build a beautiful looking website or page or something, and then I'm just going to sit there and hope and pray that traffic comes to me, right? You want to list it everywhere so that once with eBay, the advantage on eBay compared to Amazon, by the way, is with eBay, you get full customer data. When somebody pays you on eBay, the PayPal details of that person is given to you, meaning their address, their email, their phone number, whatever. So you can communicate with them. You can sell them more stuff. You can have control over that. With Amazon, this exact product, they'll gate you. There's a process called gating, okay? Meaning you have to get approval from that supplier, that you have to get special privileges to be able to do that. And there's a lot of paperwork. And generally 99% of the time, you're not going to get approved to sell this on Amazon anyway, right? And so now you want to go to the next level. You want to have customer details. You want to be able to control the sale. And the third thing is, once you got that customer in, you can get them to their funnels. You can get them to upgrades you want to sell them. You can sell them related products, whatever. I'll show you the strategies right now. But you get the idea, right? The traffic issue is the most important thing that you got to solve. And this is the only way to be, believe me, I've been doing this stuff for the last 10 years online. The only way you can get free traffic. If you was another way, I would love to, where it's buyer traffic. I can show you ways to get free traffic by posting on social media, by posting on YouTube and so on, but there's no guarantee that it's targeted buyer traffic, right? The same way, if you see on this website, this is Walmart.com, the fastest growing e-commerce website in the planet right now, because they've invested billions of dollars into it. You see that, right? This same fertilizer spreader sold and shipped by Walmart. You see that option there right now, okay? This right here, this option right now, that means basically Walmart is stocking the product, Walmart is selling this product, and basically Walmart is shipping that product and all that stuff, right? That's pretty standard. You probably already know this. Well, recently, because Walmart is investing so much money into their e-commerce thing, see this product, right? Here is another fertilizer spreader. See the difference. Sold and shipped by East Coast Hardware. You see that? And then right below it, there's two other sellers selling this. One is, I think, Product Direct, and another seller right there. Now, don't you agree with me that if you're listed here, most people will not even notice it, that they'll just buy it, right? And again, here's the thing. Behind the scenes, all this is being tracked by an inventory system that we've developed and so on. I'll talk about that as we go along, don't worry. But just by doing that product feed method, now you're listed on Walmart.com. And here's the thing. Again, there's no approval process or like somebody sitting on it and just approving or disapproving you. It's all automated. All they need is a format. And that's the format that took us so many years to figure out in such a way that it doesn't need any manual work on your part. Now, here's the thing though. Before with Walmart or Costco or whatever, all these other platforms, Best Buy or whatever, to be able to be listed in their stores, first of all, there should not be competition, right? Because the shelf space is like very limited. So if there's already another fertilizer spreader, they're not going to allow you to sell that product again. But because, and by the way, even then, like even if they allow you or doesn't allow you, you can't even reach that executive, right? You got to reach that person who's going to be able to approve or disapprove that, and try, good luck trying to get in touch with them. But with the online world, because there's no warehousing or worrying about that shelf space, they can allow unlimited products to list here, because at the end of the day, they're making a profit when they make a sale as well, right? It's in their best interest to sell this stuff. So in effect, you can be the person who lists this. You can be the person who actually sells it. You can be the one who can profit from it ultimately. So that means buyer traffic, right? And as you can get more control over this as well, because it's a product feed mechanism, all that information of that buyer, their email, their name, and all that stuff is given to you so you can sell them more products, which means Walmart is sending you that traffic, and then you can keep all the buyers for good. You can sell them more stuff or whatever you want. And here's the thing. Again, there's not like somebody sitting there and approving you or whatever. You just have to give them that format, meaning that image that you see, the little description, when that product ships, when that product arrives, some information like that. Now, I know the next thing you're going to say is, but what about these products? Like, is it like AliExpress, or where are we getting these products from? Well, here's the thing. You see that eBay profile that I just showed you, right? All these products, right? Even if you see this plush donut dog bed or whatever, all these products, when you click on it, they're all saying item location is United States, or item location Canada, or whatever that locality is, right? As you can see here, this same product again on Google Shopping. So the requirement is to be listed on Google Shopping, to be listed on Facebook Shops, to be listed on Walmart, to be listed on, for example, eBay and so on. The item location has to be in the location that that customer is in. So for example, if my end user, the buyers I want are in US, that product better be in United States, meaning the supplier has to be there, supplier has to ship it, and the supplier has to deliver it. So meaning you need a website to make this happen. Now, the website doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't matter. It's just that it has to be there to create that product feed. The second thing you need is inventory. I'm going to show you how to get that inventory and all that stuff. Over 400,000 plus products. Don't worry about that. But the main thing is to create that product feed. The only way is to get suppliers from the US, from Canada, from Europe, okay? Meaning, if I'm going to sell to the European audience, the product has to be in Europe. If I'm selling to the American audience, the product has to be in America, and the product has to be in Canada if it's the Canadian customers. Now, I can be anywhere in the world. You could be in the middle of nowhere in an island, or you could be in Australia, you could be in South Africa, you could be in Asia. You can still sell to these customers, right, these products, as long as the item location and the supplier is in there, okay? And we've done it. We have people, I've seen this, thousands of people from all around the world. They can do it. And United States has what, 330 million buyers, and then Canada has about 35 some million, and then Europe, at hundreds of millions of people. So this is a big enough market, right? And the cool thing is, regardless of where you are in the world, you can still leverage this, get the traffic, get the sales, and all these platforms care is, do you have the product feed? Do you have that, information of that supplier for this particular product? And does that product ship fast enough, right? Unfortunately, this is the reason why AliExpress no longer works that well, because the product has you don't know how long it's going to take to ship, right? And it's important for them. They're going to disapprove you as soon as possible. And the other thing that they need, and as another important thing, is, are the inventory updated on a timely basis? That's why the product feed is, right? Meaning, if this product has, let's say yesterday this inventory was 50 and today it's 45, they need to know that, because they don't want to list an out-of-stock item in their place, right? So that's the secret. So that's, if you can figure it out and you can use it, you can literally overnight start getting buyers and start getting sales. And
Unmuted.
up
Up until now, something like this was not at all possible. Now, so whatever I've shared with you, does that make sense so far? Can you type in yes, so I know we're both on the same page together? Because see, I talked about a lot of stuff, but the ultimate idea is very simple. We create something called a product feed. A product feed is very simply, imagine like a spreadsheet of information that these platforms like Walmart, like eBay, and so on and so forth accept, okay? Then once we have that, we go to the next step, and then we get these platforms to accept them, because we're talking about hundreds or thousands of products and so on and so forth, right? And then we take it to the next level by automating this process, by having a website because it looks more professional, and also taking the orders and so on and so forth. So where do we get the products? Well, that is where I built a technology. It took over 3 years, and this is what it is, called product picker technology, where there are over almost 450 to 500,000 products with wholesale suppliers. We've integrated with about 250 plus suppliers from around the world, where you can literally just click a couple of buttons and automatically those products will be added into something called that product feed, okay? Which is, again, as I said, it's like a spreadsheet of information, like a code, if you will, that eBay, Google Shopping, Facebook Shops, and Walmart and all these platforms need to update their inventory, to figure out where this product is from, what the shipping time is, what's the item, SKU, as it's called, SKU, which is basically the ID of that item, so they know how much inventory is available and so on. So you sold 5 of them today, they want to know that. If your product is out of stock, they want to know that, right? So now all you have to do, and you can type in a search here, and I'll show you how to get access to this today, don't worry. You can type in stuff like, for example, dogs or pets or whatever, and automatically you're going to see what I'm just showing you right now on my screen. You're going to see all the products with wholesale prices integrated in, meaning you don't have to go through approval process with the supplier. You don't have to live close to the supplier. You don't have to pay the supplier to buy 5,000 dog beds or whatever, right? Or dog products or whatever. And all of them are integrated into the system, meaning the supplier will directly ship it after the order is made, okay? And you're going to make a markup. And thirdly, unlike affiliate marketing, where, for example, Amazon pays you 3% commission, they actually reduced it to 2%, I think it was 4%. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. You're actually getting a markup of 30 to 50% or more for branded products. Unbranded, not well-known brands like, for example, for shaving, you got Gillette, for example, Burt's Bees for lipsticks and lip balms and so on, very well-known brands. That's 30 to 50%. Unknown brands, which are not as big, you're looking at up to 500% or more in terms of markups. But the key thing is, you see that here in this particular case, right? As you can see here, it says 92 available, which is the quantity, and then the SKU. And then you see that plus button. You press that one plus button, automatically this product is going to get added to that product feed. First of all. Secondly, it's going to get pushed to the website, which I'm going to show you how you can build for free, literally on autopilot. It can be an unlimited amount of them. So you don't have to buy Shopify or anything like that ever again, pay any monthly fees. And thirdly, which is again the key component here, you go a step further than that, which is, again, you get traffic through this because you're going to submit that product feed to Google to get free listings within hours, not days, not hours, not months. And eBay, again, which is you have all these products, you don't want to list them manually on eBay, right? And Walmart and so on. Now, Google and Facebook are free. What happens with Walmart and eBay is they charge a small transaction fee after the sale is made, meaning they don't ask you any for listing fees. They don't ask you anything to list the products and so on. They'll only take a small cut, like just under 5% or less, depending on the product, the pricing and so on, after the sale is made, okay? Meaning you're only costing after you got the buyer. And then since you get all the buyer information, you can sell them more products anyways, right? So as you can see, right now, I'm going to type in dog beds here. As you can see. Now, these are all the dog beds, right? So if you were to sell dog beds as an example, and I showed you how people are selling it on eBay, how you can sell it, I've sold it all the time, and whatever the case is, let's say this is Pet Life, right? Like I'm going to show you this Pet Life example. Pet Life dog bed, I put a margin of 30% only. Generally, it goes more in the holiday season, 50% or more, but let's say the profit margin for this is $12, right? As you can see here. Now, where things get very interesting is even if you sell 1 unit per day of this, I'll even shorten it down to say $10 per day, right? When you have a website or a brand that you build with this, okay? When you have a website or a brand you build with, and what I mean by brand is very simple. You have a website which has this products listed. Instead of just randomly selling them on eBay or Walmart or whatever, you have a brand, right? Something like petproductsource.com or whatever, as an example. So let's run it off from $12 profit. Let's just put something conservative and let's run it off to $10, right? $10 profit per item. Well, that means if you make a sale a day with this, that's about $300 per month in profit, right? $300 per month. Very simple, nothing really complex. And then you extrapolate it over a year, that's about $3,600 a year in profit for this one product. Let's assume we do this over multiple products or whatever, but let's keep it conservative. What happens is in the online world, somebody will buy this business, right, for 4 times the yearly profit. That is how the valuation is for these businesses, right? So that's about anywhere between $12,000 or more, okay? So that is how you literally, even if you didn't have any history, you could have just started this website 2 or 3 months ago. It doesn't need to have like a 2 years or 3 years history and you could still sell it. Now, again, on the bare minimum, I've seen it sell for 10 times the monthly profit, okay? So for example, a website is making $300 per month in profit, can sell for $3,000 at the bare minimum, okay? Depending on, again, how much demand there is, how much interest there is, and so on. But the key thing is, even if you sold for $3,000, let's say, there's going to be 15 bids on it where other people are going to pay you $2,500 or more for buying that similar website. Slightly lesser than $3,000, maybe $2,400 or whatever the case might be, right? You see the power of something like that.
Asking price $600,000.
Muted.
The animesupply.com, right? $20,000 it's sold for. So you can do this as well if you have a plan and you have a strategy in place to cash out later on. Okay, that's the key thing. That's what I always tell people. have a plan in mind, and then it will all make sense, right? At the end of the day, that's the strategy. So now, how do we do this whole process? How do we simplify this whole process? So the concept is very, very easy, very simple, okay? The concept is called drop shipping, right? So the concept is very straightforward. You've probably seen it before, probably done it before, and so on. It's simple. Right? You'd be the middleman or middlewoman working 20 minutes each day, and then basically the suppliers will start shipping the products and you get the margins, right? Generally 30 to 50% for branded margins. Products for unbranded products, which is unknown brands, you're going to make about 500% or more as well. You collect payments from different platforms. You only pay the supplier after you make the sale, right? That's easy stuff. You've probably heard it before. But the goal, as I said, okay, is to make sure that you build a business that can be sold, okay? Very, very important. Sold. For that, you need traffic, right? So the traffic comes from, as I said, Google Shopping, eBay, Walmart, Facebook, and so on and so forth for free, okay? Because you can do this right away. They're introducing that opportunity. Why wouldn't you take it, right? And then you can directly be a third-party seller in Walmart as well. So something they introduced very recently. It has some restrictions, but can be done, right? And you can create your own sales distribution network. Now, this is important. The reason why this is important is it solves that traffic issue this holiday season. I'm telling you, you're going to see a bunch of courses on Facebook ads for holiday season, e-commerce in the holiday season. The problem is everything is going to cost you 5 times more money in the holiday season. Trust me, it's a fact. Because if everybody's spending money on ads in the holiday season, if you're trying to go into the same business as everybody else, which is e-commerce, which is going to do well in the holiday season, then don't you think that it's going to cost you 3 to 4 times more money? Meaning stuff that's just costing you $2 per click, it's going to cost you $5 to $6 per click if you're trying to sell e-commerce related products, right? Obviously. So that is the reason why we're solving this by simplifying this process, okay? Now, we can also, by the way, bring our own products or your own products. Do you know people who already have their own products and so on that we can utilize? Type in yes in chat box. Like if you already have products, like let's say you're from Asia and you have a bunch of products that you know a friend or a business and so on that you wanted to have them listed on Google Shops, Facebook Shops, maybe on eBay and so on and so forth, right? Well, you can do that too with this platform, meaning you can bring in your own products, import them over to your websites, your stores and so on, and then you can create that product feed too, regardless of where you're located. However, the only difference is Google, for instance, it wants to know where you're located. So let's say you're from Malaysia or India, it's going to say google.in or whatever, right? Or google.malaysia. So the reason is they need to know that that product is going to be locally delivered. That's the only restriction. Other than that, like Germany, for example, let's say you're shipping products within Germany and you bring in those products, it's only going to care which location is. Other than that, there's no other restrictions. Does that make sense? Very powerful, right? And you can also completely invoice those clients as well. There's an invoicing system. So when you bring their products in as an agency or consultant, when you make a sale, you can invoice them automatically. An invoice is created so you can send it to the client so you can get a cut of the sale, like 10%, 15%, and so on. And you also have a pixel manager in place where you can automatically retarget these folks who visited your website from Facebook, eBay, from Google, and so on for free. You can retarget them on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Quora, Native, and all these other platforms in one place. You just paste that code into that one place. And you also have automatic tax management, which is sales taxes, right? Like if you're in Australia and you want to sell to the US market, there are some states, and so on, which might need some sales taxes to be collected. But there's some restrictions in terms of what they charge and how much you need to make. So in some states, unless you make $200,000 a year in revenue, they're not going to charge any, you don't have to collect any sales taxes. So all this is done through our integration with a company called TaxCloud. So it's super easy. And then all of that is managed as well for you pretty much automatically. So there's no need for you to worry about any tax management or GDPR compliance. It's automatically collected, meaning you sell a product and you're deciding to sell it to a market, you list it, automatically all that stuff is automated so that you don't have to sit there figuring out, okay, Florida accepts this sales tax. Okay, there's this sales tax in Texas, or there's this sales tax in Ohio, or whatever. You get the idea. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. It's all automated, right? So the cool thing is, just to quickly summarize to you how this whole process works, is we build a website like this one. In this case, it's getyourbabygoods.com and so on. So we have a whole platform. Think of it like Shopify, but even better because it's not clunky, right? It loads faster than Shopify, 10 times faster. And also you have the ability to get the products. You don't have to worry about finding the suppliers and all that stuff. If you have your own products, you can immediately log into the admin dashboard and load your products as well. You just put the title, the description, and the images, and automatically it's going to load. And here's an example, is the gift basket. So all these websites you can build within a few minutes. And then all the products as well, you can load with that plus button I showed you, remember? You just go into that product picker, pick what products you want, press the plus button, automatically going to add it to your stores. And then the product is actually going to be displayed on these platforms like Google Shopping, Facebook, and so on within a few hours, maybe a couple of days at the most, and so on. And once you're in there permanently. Okay, Google Shopping, they're planning maybe late next year, they're going to start charging money for it. But you're going to be grandfathered in for it, right? Because as I said, their goal is to ensure you get results and small businesses get results and they can keep using their platform, right? So why don't you take advantage of it? Obviously, you should be taking advantage of these opportunities that Google and all these other businesses are giving you, right? And all these products, by the way, have a markup. I put it, I think, about 50% markup, but you can put any markup that you wish, right? So that is the key thing. Now, for this to happen, we have a platform that does more than Shopify, actually. You don't have to pay like $79 a month for Shopify and then another hundreds of dollars for these extensions and plugins and all that stuff to make it work. Well, you don't have to do any of that stuff. So it's not going to cost you anywhere close to that, obviously. But the cool thing is you don't have to worry about web hosting and all that stuff too. I'll talk about that as we go along. But basics, right? SSL certificates. A lot of you folks know that HTTPS is very important. That's why even Shopify, for that matter, they expect you to have that available. Now, if you were to go outside of some platforms, it's going to cost you $59 a month, $39 a month with Komodo and all that. Well, you don't have to worry about that. We have a special partnership where we are going to pay that SSL cost for you forever. You don't have to pay a single penny. It can be for any amount of domains, unlimited. You can do unlimited websites, unlimited domains, right? And the other thing as well is Shopify stores. You can go to Google right now and search Shopify stores, top 100 Shopify stores or something, and you go into page speed insights with Google, right? It's going to show you the score of 30, which is very bad with mobile devices, right? And with ours, right, with our platform, which took us over 3 years to build, it's 85. Okay. Now, why is this important? Well, because Shopify has a lot of clunky stuff, meaning that billions of websites, right? I think Shopify last I heard has like some 20 million websites or something. And so those websites all load with the same CMS system. Okay. Obviously, that's going to slow things down. Our platform, by the way, it loads with no need for all this clunky stuff. So that's why it's going to load faster, which is very important with mobile devices. Helps with conversion rates and search engine rankings and so on and so forth as well. The other thing as well is email marketing, right? You see the power of email marketing. Well, instead of paying email marketing services, like just for Shopify alone, you have Klaviyo and so on. That's like another $200, $300 a month you're paying for email marketing services. Well, we have an inbuilt email marketing system that sends dynamic coupons, personalized recommendations, abandoned cart emails, related item emails, and all that mumbo jumbo good stuff, right? So you don't have to worry about paying any monthly fees for any autoresponder services, web hosting, or anything like that, right? And I can go on and on. There's like blogging platforms. There's like almost 40 different apps that we build based on requests from people like you to build, right? Like some things like Spin the Wheel, some stuff where related to, for example, payment gateways where we have 40 different payment options, automatic SEO options, scarcity builders, retargeting, upsell, downsells, cross-sells, all that mumbo jumbo stuff, right? And that's very powerful because of one reason. It speeds up the success factor, right? Because if you get 30 visitors a day, you want to make sure that most of them end up buying from you, right? So that's the key thing. So now let's simplify this process, right? Because see, we talked about how to get products, okay, which using the product picker technology, where you can get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of products from different suppliers. You don't have to worry about ever doing any approval process or anything like that. You're going to get access to that. You're going to get access to a website e-commerce store builder technology that can build these kind of stores, unlimited amount of them with no restrictions, right? And you have the ability to sell them with as simple as just giving the admin login to the end user, whoever is going to buy from you in Flippa, and you can sell more of those. Like with Shopify, for example, I got to pay $79 a month. Then I have to sell that store on Flippa. I cannot easily go in and build another store. I got to pay another $79 a month or whatever, and then all the bells and whistles to make it possible. It's going to cost over $200 a month. So now it's not easy for me to go sell that store for $600, $800, right? Because already I'm paying $200 a month with Shopify. And on top of that, other costs involved and so on, right? So here, you don't have to worry about all that. You're doing the hosting. We're doing all that management for you. You don't have to worry about a single thing. And the product picker, those products that you're having, gets passed on to the end customer as well. And because of the fact that it's unlimited, unlike Shopify and so on, you have unlimited profit potential as well. Now, here's the key thing, though. You want to make sure that you have a plan of action, right? The plan of action is you do it successfully once and you replicate it again and again and again. Now, the key point, though, is when it comes to product feeds, this is something I've seen again and again, is you got to have a very rock solid web hosting platform to ensure in the holiday season that the product feed is rock solid. So every single website that you build, the hosting is actually done by Google Cloud Platform. So it's actually Google's award-winning cloud technology. And as you can see here, last month I paid $19,893. So I'm paying almost $20,000 a month to host our apps and your websites and so on here. And the cool thing is, this is going to ensure, guarantee, unlike HostGator or these GoDaddy on these cheap hosting platforms where you send a lot of traffic in the holiday season, they're going to crash. And that means Google is going to delist you from their actual Google shopping platform, right? So here, because it's on Google, it's never going to crash. It's the same service in California that hosts google.com, youtube.com, and so on. And more important than that, this is more key, it's going to ensure that you have trust built and you can handle any amount of traffic and you're not paying any monthly fees and anything to host your websites, your stores, your product feeds, and so on. It's rock solid. And the best part is if you were to get Google platform right now, you're going to need $200 to $300 a month to get a good quality service, right? Scalable service. With us, because we're already paying $20,000 a month, there's a lot of discounts that we can get because we're spending so much money. So for instance, what would cost you $200 a month? It's going to cost me like 15 to $20 a month. That's the kind of discounts that we get at that level. It's like similar to a hotel, right? You're going to order like you're a hotel, you're going to order like 5,000 sofas. You're going to get a certain price for your sofas than if you were to buy an individual one, right? Same thing, volume. So that's the reason why we can offer free hosting, unlimited, forever for your websites and your hosting and so on from Google. So it's going to be rock solid, never going to go down for any reason at all, right? And that means literally you can, just from that hosting part alone, right away build a website like the ones I showed you and sell it on Flippa for $300 or more in the next 3 or 4 days without even getting a single sale. Now, my recommendation is get some sales, get some results, because then you're going to get 10 times more money, right? Because people are looking to buy businesses that actually make some revenue, and it's more easier for you to sell it as well because you're going to get more people to bid on it and so on, right? Now, you've seen this whole power of this whole technology, right? Like this whole process that I've outlined to you and so on and so forth. Now, I want to make a simple point here, which is very, very important. This platform is called Wholesale Robot. Now, I've been actually pushing this thing for a while in a sense that for 3 years, I wanted to build a platform like this. It took so long to get to the way it is right now, especially since I'm from Canada. It's even more harder for me to sell to the American market, European market. So I understand if you're not from US, you understand the problems international folks have. So in your language might be Spanish or whatever language you want to do. So to build something that is cross-platform, cross-country, works everywhere around the world was very difficult, right? So that is one thing. But what if you get the platform, not just get the platform, but in this holiday season, you get training step by step and assistance on Skype one-on-one from my team and myself and my team to help you, guide you through and push you to success, meaning get you to the finish line. Will that make a big difference, right? And make sure, and as I said, at the end of the day, we only want to get paid if you get a profit. So pay for it using the profits that you generate. Meaning if you do not make any profit, we don't want a single penny from you. Okay. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm confident it's going to work. If you and I, we both agree to the fact that if you just need to get listed on Google, eBay, Facebook, Walmart, and so on, and you're going to get traffic, you're going to get sales in the holiday season, you agree with it. And if I guarantee you to get into Google Shopping, right, for example, I guarantee you, meaning we're going to help you on Skype until you get on Google Shopping, and I guarantee you that obviously you're going to get traffic and sales this holiday season, right? So now, obviously, if I'm going to help you out on a one-on-one basis and get you the technology, get you the hosting and all that stuff, it's going to be easy for you to get success this holiday season and replicate the results I've gotten, right? But there's one issue here, though, right? So that is, okay, this is going to be really expensive and so on. So what I wanted to do to ensure, okay, because I'm giving one-on-one assistance with folks from my team and I want to make sure that we get serious people, okay? Because this holiday season is going to be so tough for every one of us in our team because we're so busy with so many things, helping you out, helping our own businesses and so on. So what I want is I want a small pitch and fee from you folks, okay, to ensure that you're serious. And that is fully refundable, by the way, okay? And that pitch and fee is going to ensure that only the serious people get to take advantage of our one-on-one assistance, our technology and so on, and they don't abuse the system because if you give it away for free, first of all, you're not going to invest the time. Second of all, you're not going to value it, right? So this technology right now, because of the courses and stuff I've seen sold for Facebook ads, we're selling for $2,000 and so on. Easily it would sell for $2,000. I've even seen technologies like this sell for $4,000, $3,995 and so on. And I could have easily sold that and a few of you would have gotten it anyways, but that's not helping you, right? So I thought I'll get it because you're my customers of DoodleMaker and this is my technology. I wanted to give you a special deal. So we wanted to cut all the junk and make sure that you get it for a very good value. So we thought maybe $997 is good, but let's put it this way. All I ask from you, instead of putting $997 or like some payment plan where you're paying 2 payment plan or whatever, I just need $197 today. We'll spread that out over 6 months as a payment plan, but it's fully refundable, meaning my team will not touch it. I'm not going to touch it. We're not going to touch that money at all. for 30 days. If you get results, great. If not, it's fully refundable, meaning no questions asked. You leave, it's no hard feelings, no problems at all. Is that fair? So I'm going to give you a link to get it specifically here because, I want to make sure my staff and team who's going to help you out and myself and so on, we are getting some value for the time we spend with you, right? So that's going to ensure that we at least know that. So here's a special link only for this webinar. It's wholesalerobot.io/deal, okay? As you can see on the top, I'm very transparent here. Watch this. It's $197 spread over 6 full months, or you can get another option, $497 spread over 2 months. The $497 option is a little bit cheaper, obviously, but here's the thing. Both of them are fully refundable, no questions asked, meaning any reason, no reason at all, you decide to leave, you get every single penny back. And more importantly, you get it at that link. I posted the link in the chat box as well, www.wholesalerobot.io/deal, and you can paste it into your browser. You can click on that link. The other thing as well is you can use PayPal credit option if you're in the US or United Kingdom, meaning, check this out. As a DoodleMaker customer, you understand the value of getting something for really, really good deal, right? So what we've done is we work with PayPal and we offer something called PayPal credit if you're in the US or United Kingdom. In these two countries, what you're going to do is you log in, you check out in the checkout page and choose PayPal option. And in that page, when you go to PayPal, you log into your account, it's going to say use your credit card or your balance, or a third option is going to pop up which it says PayPal credit. Using the PayPal credit option, if they're in the US or UK, it's for 3 months to 6 months, there's no payments, no interest. 6 months in the US, 3 months in the UK. That means there's no payments, no interest for that much. Literally, you're getting it for free today, and it's fully refundable over 30 days. So you can cancel it and it didn't cost you a single penny. I'm doing it because I want to give you every single opportunity to succeed. Now, if you're not in these two places, not in US or United Kingdom, you're still covered by 30-day no question and money back guarantee, right? And by no questions asked, I do mean no questions asked, okay? I want to put challenge out there here for everybody else who talks big game this holiday season to do the same thing. Meaning you can spend, let's say my team and I, we're spending 30 minutes each day with you or an hour each day with you, right? We spend 20 hours over 20 days or whatever. At the end of the day, you leave, you get every single penny back. That's 20 hours gone, right? You're using our technology, you're using our hosting and so on. These are costs that will never come back to us. And you're going to use our own mentorship, right? We're doing twice a week e-commerce mentorship, Mondays and Fridays, every single week for the last, I think, 1.5 years. And I plan to do that again. So not only one-on-one assistance in Skype, you can also get this additional assistance from myself and my team and so on top of that, which is, again, something extraordinary, right? Now, the reason why this is important, and again, I know you're saying this is all cool and so on, but there must be some catch, right? There must be some catch here. It sounds too good to be true. So there's only one catch, and that is because of the fact that this is a holiday season, and because we only have, 45 days left, I have very limited amount of people in my team and myself, limited amount of time to help out people one-on-one. So if the first 25 people to get in today, and I'll need you to post your transaction ID after you get into chat box, okay, that you're in, post your transaction ID, then I'm going to confirm you're one of the first 25 people or not to get access to this, okay, especially the one-on-one assistance, meaning you can come back 2 weeks later, but I cannot guarantee you that one-on-one assistance in Skype. I just want to be very clear. And if you've gotten this before and you want to get it again, right, because you want to take advantage of the holiday season, you can do it at this special page as well. I want to be very clear here. We're not touching that $107 you get in today for 30 full days. I don't even get hold of it. Our merchant processor ClickBank holds it for us, right? So that means we're not going to do anything with that money. And if you leave, you decide 25 days, 26, 29 days later to leave, you're going to get every single penny back, no questions asked, okay? It's zero risk. Think of it like a risk-free pitch-in fee that you're putting in just to show your seriousness. If you get results this holiday season, awesome. You can pay for using the profits that you generate thereafter. Like you sell one of these websites for like $1,000, it more than pays for itself, right? But maybe let's say you did it. You're going to get every single penny back, no questions asked. And the risk is all on us. I'm so confident I'm going to put my money on the line here and my team, my staff, my time, my energy and everything because I know it works. Okay, there's no question about it. Now, the next question you're going to say is, but Paul, like, why are you like so excited about it? Like, why are you like pushing it so hard? Well, the reason is I know as a DoodleMaker customer, as somebody who's been there for a while, and I get the idea. I know one of the big things that you have when it comes to video creation, selling to clients and so on, is it works beautifully. But when you're really put to the wall, right, push comes to shove, one of the only things, and I get this so many times, I get this message coming up with like all our team so many times, and I see it in my Facebook messages is, Paul, I'm buying so many products. So much information overload, product after product. I'm buying so many of these products as information overload. Some of these apps I've never even logged in and I don't know what to do. I'm kind of lost now, right? And the reason why you're lost is because nobody's there one-on-one to assist you, to put you to the right pathway, right? to put you, see, it's a question of, I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I've made. If you make this, that's that little thing, if you've succeeded, if I've succeeded in making you do that, not make the same mistakes that I've made, that saves you years and years of time, right? Because I've been doing this for so long, since almost 13 years now, and next year is going to be 14. So that means I know the ups and downs, right? I've seen what's happening and what's happened over the last 14 years, the trends and so on. The only way you're going to succeed quickly, okay, that's the word, quickly, okay? Because you can succeed slowly, you can succeed over a long period of time, all that stuff, but quickly is to leverage platforms, okay? Leverage the latest trends that are unsaturated. For example, just about 4 or 5 months ago, Google introduced Google Shopping for free, which costs money. It's free now. Facebook Shops just introduced, meaning it was not even available some 4 months ago. It's available right now. It's unsaturated. Not many people are doing it. So you do it, you're going to take an advantage over everybody else, right? Now, on top of that, let's say, for example, you want to use eBay and Walmart. I'm going to give you an example, right? About 5 years ago, I wanted to get a product of mine into Walmart. And I messaged everybody I could get to get my product into Walmart. Finally, I got into touch with somebody up in Walmart, and then they told me, it was an electronic product. They told me, Paul, it sounds good. The product is good. Glad you got in touch with me after 4 months of trying. But, our shelf space is limited. We cannot sell more than 2 of the same competing products, right? Because there's no shelf space and we don't want to sell competing products. And they rejected me. I know a personal friend who was selling a product in Costco, right? And they were doing extremely well. Then one fine day, Costco decided, we're not going to list your product on our shelf anymore. And literally overnight, their sales were 0. So the reason why I'm saying this is online has changed the dynamic. It's no longer about shelf space. It's no longer about going in through some executive or some mumbo jumbo stuff. You don't have to do all that stuff. It's all automated now, right? You don't have to do any of that mumbo jumbo stuff. The only thing you need to do is make sure that you leverage the opportunity that they provided for you, right? It's not like every day that Walmart is going to give you ability to sell on their store. Not every day that eBay is going to give you an ability to sell for free, right? They're giving about 100 listings for free or so. And again, using the product feed, you don't have to worry about manually getting approvals, manually doing all that stuff, right? You don't have to worry about any of that mumbo jumbo stuff. All that stuff is automated by the whole technology at hand here. That means it gives you incredible flexibility, because especially think of it this way, right? If you were to do this manually, let's talk about that manual part. If you're ready to do this manually, you can do it. The problem is, let's say you sold one of these sites on Flippa. Let's say you made $800 to $700 or whatever. You have 14 other bidders that you want to sell this for. Imagine how hard it would be if it was manual. You got to go back and relist products on eBay. You got to go back and relist products on Google Shopping. You got to go back and relist products on Facebook Shops, and so on and so forth, right? And that, if it was not automated, it would be impossible. I wouldn't even be sharing it with you because it's so tough. It's so time consuming, because you got to do everything manually. Here, because it's automated, you set it up once, you just clone these websites in like a few minutes or maybe a couple of hours, and then you can keep redoing the whole process again and again. It doesn't, it's not that difficult thereafter.
Right, as you can see here. And so you'll see a welcome video like so. And then right below the welcome button, and you'll get instant access to this, by the way. You're going to see this something called schedule your complimentary one-on-one success call, right? As you can see here. Well, that is where you book your one-on-one assistance on Skype I was telling you about. That is a big difference maker. If you don't have that, you could have the greatest technology in the world, but we'll be having the same discussion 45 days from now. You'll be like, hey, if you had a last webinar, you came live, you were there for an hour or so, why didn't you take action after you even got it? Why didn't you get results, right? Then you'll be like, oh, but Paul, I got stuck. Life happened or whatever. I'm saying with this, somebody is going to either do the work for you, somebody's going to guide you through the process, somebody's going to lean on back of your shoulder, and that could be the difference between you getting success and zero success, right? And here, as you can see here, all the members area has all the tutorials and everything already ready. So it's not like you got to start from scratch. So for instance, you can go through them and you can do them all on your own. So for example, you can set it up, add your own products if you wish. You want to bring your own suppliers. You can design stuff. You can change stuff, currencies and so on, languages. You can do analytics, GDPR, adding chatbots. You can do tax management. All that stuff, email marketing, all that stuff, all the apps, everything is built in already. Over 40 different apps are already built in. And we also have extensive training. But I know when you go through it, you're going to go through like 5 lessons and you're going to be like, it's too complex, I give up. But on the other hand, having somebody on Skype will be like, hey, we have special training on this. Did you know? Why don't you go check it out on this one? Oh, by the way, you don't know how to do it? Let me guide you through where you're stuck, and then you can go there. Oh, by the way, your website design, you wanted to change. This is how you do it. Oh, you don't know how to do it? Let us do it for you. You see, having something like that, especially when you're selling these businesses on Flippa tomorrow, where you don't have to worry about the web hosting fees. right? Because we're handling the hosting. So meaning the end buyer who buys it from you, we're going to handle the hosting for them, the support for them. We're going to handle all that stuff, right? And you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And the beauty is they get the mirror image, basically the website that you're getting. You just hand over the admin panel and then you use Wholesale Robot to build unlimited websites. They're not going to get access to Wholesale Robot. Your buyer would not even know that you used a platform to build it, because all they're going to get is the dashboard, which is completely generic. That's completely basically like as if you spent days and days to build it. Right now, it's cost $35 an hour to hire somebody to build a website, and they charge about 50 to 60 hours to build a website, not including the products, not including the dashboard, not including wholesale suppliers, not including any of that stuff.
Meaning you can sell any automotive related goods and so on. Or you can sell, for instance, there's so many niches you can get into. Chandeliers, for example, home decor. Right now, even winter related products like salt spreaders, fertilizer spreaders, in this case, fishing for people who are interested in fishing. You can do golf. You can do so many other industries. It's so easy because the products are all over the place, right? In different industries and different niches and so on. Here's an example for puppies, right? It's for dogs and puppies and so on and so forth. So for people who are interested in that, you can do that. Now, what I recommend in relation to this is, some people are asking me this question, is do you go for generic websites with everything in it, or do you recommend for something more niche related like this one, like dog, pet products and so on? So it depends on the goal, okay? Generally, what I've noticed is if you want to sell, your end goal is to sell on Flippa, go for a niche. The reason why is, as I showed you, right, my website was a watch website. I sold watches, a website which had watches and so on. Back in when I got started, right, with the stuff. So what happened is, why does it sell so well? Like baby products, right? Here's an example. So somebody who's just a parent, they're more likely to buy a business like this because they can relate to it. Somebody who actually sent a gift basket to somebody is more likely to buy a business for gift baskets, right? Or somebody who's interested in golf, it's more likely to buy a business which sells golf products, right? Somebody is interested, for example, who have a pet, like a dog or a puppy, they're more interested in owning that business which sells products for what they're interested in. So generally, they end up selling much better if they're niche related on Flippa. With Google Shopping, eBay, and so on, then it really doesn't matter what you have. It can be a generic store as well. Here's an example for stun guns, pepper sprays, and self-protection gear, and so on. It's a very different market, right? Now, you can do this too. It all depends what you decide to do. You can literally get up and running in very quickly on this stuff. And it's all beautiful looking, right? And you can modify everything. Again, with Skype, we can help you out with the technical stuff on how to make it happen. But the technology is easy. It's not like you're manually building it. You go in and you decide, okay, today I want to build a website which is about puppies or dog products or whatever. And you press a few buttons and automatically the website is going to get deployed. Then you can modify it. You can go into the admin section, change a few things, change the design, blah, blah, blah. You can do all that stuff. Or you can contact our team and we will help you with that. It's up to you. Whatever works best, you decide what works best and we'll help you out with that. And again, here's fragrances and perfumes and so on and so forth if you're interested in that. So there's different industries you can get to. And it looks beautiful across the board. And here's the spin the wheel thing I was telling you about. So apps like this, there were almost 40 apps like this people requested, and we built them with our developers. So anything you need, right? Anything that Shopify has that we don't have, we can get it done and you don't have to pay any monthly fees. Like for example, email autoresponder. A lot of people wanted that. We got that done and you don't have to pay a single penny extra on it. Like for example, that $197 spread over 6 months, after the payment plan is done, it's done. You don't have to pay a single penny thereafter. Unlike Shopify, you have to keep paying monthly fees. Or for that matter, once that $497 times 2, that is done, that payment plan is done, it's forever. You don't have to worry about any other payments.
And as I said, we'll also be live via live streams on Facebook and our mentorship groups and so on. So you're not going to have any lack of training. Training is not the issue. It's a question of making sure that you have over the shoulder somebody mentor you to get you to the next level. Okay, and we'll help you do that. I'm sure, I'm confident in that. The only thing is we need some time from you. And if you can do that, we'll do it. Okay, together. All right, so let's make 2020 the best year ever, and 2021 even better than this year because you'll have a pathway to follow, and I'll do my best to make it possible. Okay, so thanks again for being here. And again, as I said, DoodleMaker and so on, we're always updating things. So we'll update this as well. So it's our pleasure to help you out. So looking forward to getting to know you better, getting to make you our next success story if possible. And I'll talk to you soon. And take care. Good luck, and we'll be in touch.